all of it's garbage. All right, and I'm supposed to give them a round of applause. Now, first of all, it's not all garbage. I have on my blog, I have a blog called Church of the Masses, and I have on one side an ongoing running list of movies that have come out basically in the last decade, and the heading of it is, they're not all garbage. And there's like 50 films there right now. And then the second one is, they're not all idiots. And this is a list of Hollywood celebrities that I know that are doing amazing things. People like Gary Sinise, who has been over to Iraq more times than, you know, the Secretary of State, working with the soldiers, and things like this. You know, that there are many wonderful people that are doing stuff in the industry. But that it's not all garbage impulse is basically, these are people who have shutting themselves out from the culture, hoping it's just going to all go away. And that we're just going to turn it off, and we're going to be safe in our little cave with our family, and block it out. And you know what? Eventually, it's kind of the Jonah syndrome, you know, when Jonah went up on the hill because God said he was going to destroy Nineveh. And then he goes up on the hill after he's walked through Nineveh, saying 40 days more and Nineveh will be destroyed. And then he sits on the hill and God lets a gourd grow over him so he has some shade. And he sits up there and he folds his arms and he's just excited to watch Nineveh be destroyed. And then it doesn't get destroyed and he gets really mad at God. It's like, you know, you let me down here. I think there's a lot of us who are suffering from that syndrome of really, really hoping that the culture, people who are generating the culture, people out there are going to get what's coming to them. But the interesting thing is the people of Nineveh converted, didn't they? Shocked Jonah right out of his gourd. And I tell people all the time, Hollywood is not Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Nineveh. I have experienced this. Talk about the fields white for harvest. If I had 10 good catechists, if we had 10 good catechists, people who are articulate, who are profound, who got it, who get it, we could take over the global media. We could have it. But the fact is we don't have 10 great catechists. And so, where are the catechists? They are in the caves somewhere between Wichita and Falls Creek, Kansas, hunkering down, hoping the culture's all going to go away. Right? And so we've absented ourselves from this culture, these people with the it's all garbage thing, and said we don't need what Hollywood has to give. And you're wrong about that. That's the second thing you're wrong about. Hollywood is important, why Hollywood matters, and why the church has is continually, over the last 25 years, 30 years, said, enter into the culture, enter into the culture. John Paul II had an annual day of media communications. You know, he would say, throw open the doors of the media to Christ. Please, I beg you, use the global media to shout from the rooftops the truth that we have. And what do we say? It's all garbage, we don't watch it, we never go to the movies, we don't have any part in it. Now, the interesting thing is I'm constantly getting Catholics coming up to me who, after they've announced that they never go to the movies, they never watch anything, then also need to pitch me their movie idea. And tell me what a great idea they have for a television show. And when I say to them, what you just said is I'm not going to architecture school, I've never studied architecture, I couldn't know a blueprint if I was chewing on it, but here's my design for a skyscraper. Would you make this? And when I say, no, this is crap, you say to me, you sold out to Hollywood. Right? Okay, so this problem of the cave dwellers, I got to tell you, even if you could protect your family, you can't and it won't work. What I've noticed is people that raise their children in the cave, their children end up being haughty, or they end up becoming worse than a lot of the things that the parents were trying so much to shelter them from, because they're given no equipment at all to be a person of their time. You're raising aliens in their own culture. There's nothing more pathetic than a 17-year-old who's longing to live in 1953. Right? Or 1853. Ridiculous. I call them Catholic Amish. What have we done here? These are not apostles for their age if they're afraid of their own age.